Good morning, friends. I'm glad to be back with you. Hope you had a great weekend. The first couple weeks I was here, we went over some topics. We'll review those real fast. We'll get on with what we're talking about today. First is bullying. What is it? You got it. When you do something mean to somebody over and over and over again with your words or your actions. Who's the victim?
The person that's getting hurt.
You got it. The person that is getting bullied, that's the victim. Who are the witnesses?
The people who are watching.
Everybody that's watching. And can they help? Yes. Please do. Please be a good friend. Help your school rock. What is a drug? Actions to help you.
A drug is something that changes the way you think, feel, and act.
Perfectly said. Something that changes the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. Is there good drugs?
Yes.
What are they called? You got it. Medicine. Internet or the Wi-Fi connects you to who? The whole entire world. Millions and millions of strangers. So we don't give out our personal information, which is like your name and your address and your phone number and passwords. Do not give that stuff to strangers. Do we invite strangers into our home through our computers? No. Like the crocodile, they're going to do some damage. Don't let them in. And the last time I was here, we talked about gun safety. There's 4 important gun safety rules. What are they? Stop. Don't touch it, right? Don't touch it. Leave the area. Tell an adult. They're a little bit childish, but they're so important. Remember those rules. Stop. Don't touch it. Get away from it. Tell somebody. Tell an adult. All right, today we're going to talk about some emergencies that we might deal with at home. We prepare for emergencies here at school. What does the word prepare mean? To get ready. That's all it means. How do you guys get ready for school? Give me one thing you do. Get stuff in your backpack. Charge the phone book, brush your teeth. You what? Get dressed. Please don't come to school naked. Yes. Get your clothes ready to roll. Eat breakfast. Yeah, take water bottles. You guys have been doing this a long time. You know how to prepare for school, don't you? You've said all those things. Take a shower probably too. Make yourself clean. Brush your teeth because you don't want to smell your own breath in your mask right now. That's awful. An emergency is when you need help, and you need help right now. Is a cat in a tree an emergency? No. You don't need help right now. That cat will get down. If there's a car crash, is that an emergency?
Yes.
Yep. Fire? Yes. And if you've tried and you cannot get your mom or dad to wake up, that is an emergency. Please get help. You don't need to know who you need. You tell the 911 dispatcher what your emergency is, and they'll send who they need. If it's a house fire, they're probably going to send all of us. They're going to send the fire department, the police, and ambulances. Okay? So you just call for help. You tell them what your emergency is. They'll send who they need to. If you have a plan, you'll feel safer and you'll know what to do. At school, we prepare for fire. We do fire drills, tornado drills, and we do Alice drills now, don't we? We've done Alice drills most of your lives now. Alice drill is when there's an intruder, whether it be outside of the school or inside of the school. And depending on what the situation is, we can do a lot of things. If the intruder's in the school and it's safe, we can evacuate the building. In drills, do we run for Alice drills? You can, okay? If you're practicing evacuation, practice running, because that's what you're going to do for real. If there's an intruder or a threat outside of the school, is it a good idea to evacuate? No, we want to stay in where it's safe and let us deal with them out there. But if they're in here, it's possible you might be evacuating, then run. And if he's in here but it's not safe, if they're like right outside the door, that might be a time we barricade and make ourselves safe in our room. So the situation changes, but we practice those things so we don't panic when it's time for the real thing. Hopefully there's never a real thing, but that's why we practice it over and over and over. There hasn't been a fire in a school in like 100 years, but we still practice them. And tornadoes, those happen, so we practice. We know what to do. We feel safe. If we don't practice, then you could act like these two idiots and run around and not know what to do. We don't want you doing that. If this happens and every kid in the school is running around, people are going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt. We don't want you getting hurt. Well, how would you feel in an emergency if you didn't know what to do? What emotion would you feel? Terrified. Worried.
Really, really nervous.
Yeah, you'd feel nervous, worried, terrified. You wouldn't know what to do. That's why we practice, because when you come here, you should be comfortable. You should be here to learn. And if you're sitting at your desk all day wondering, if there's a fire, what am I going to do? You're not going to be listening to your teachers. Or if there's somebody outside, what am I supposed to do? You already know. You listen to the teacher. She's going to direct you, or he. Right? That's why we train. And these feelings I'm talking about, we can't let them get out of control. The feeling of joy. If we got that cute little puppy for your birthday, you're going to be happy. That's joy. Emotion of anger. This is one we definitely don't want getting out of control. You get anger out of control, you're going to make some bad choices and probably get in trouble. And there's going to be some consequences for your actions. If your little brother or sister's acting up in the store and they're angry and throwing a temper tantrum, what are you going to feel as their sibling? You're going to be angry with them, right? Disappointed, annoyed, embarrassed, and your parents are going to feel the exact same way. They're going to be angry and embarrassed and annoyed too. Yes. A fear is definitely one we don't want getting out of control. If fear gets out of control, it causes us to run around like crazy men or women, not knowing what to do, or it makes us panic and not do anything. And that's bad too. We have a couple emergencies coming up where we can't panic and do nothing or we're going to get hurt. So that's why we practice. We don't let fear take us over. Fear can't win. In a fire drill, do we run in the fire drills? Nope. Those we walk. In Alice drills, we can practice running. Fire drills, nice and safely walking away. So we've talked about the emergencies here at school. Let's talk about some that we may deal with at home. What's this first one? Raise your hand if you can tell me what this one is.
You can't get out of your car because it's covered in snow.
Yeah, what is that emergency? What's that called? A snowstorm or a blizzard. Now, I've heard over the last 5 days that we might be getting one of these tonight. I sure hope not. But, so we've had 5 days to prepare for this thing. They are slow moving. We know we might get stuck at our house, so we go get some food and water. We might be there a couple days. What time of year do we expect to see these? Winter. Do we expect to see them in the middle of spring? No. I'm very disappointed in this. And what things can happen in a snowstorm? You could freeze. If you're outside, you could freeze. Could be snowed into your house or your car if it's too deep. Get frostbite if you're outside. Say it louder. Still didn't hear you, buddy. I'm sorry. Suffocate from the snow. Is there going to be bad car crashes? Probably. Yep. Are we going to lose power? Yeah, probably. What do we lose when we lose power? What are some things we don't get anymore? Heat. Better have some blankets. Electricity. What do we lose? Is there some things we lose with electricity? Tablets. Oh, the technology is going to be gone. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We got to stare at our own family and play board games. Wow. You might have what? Do you use candles? Yeah. You're going to lose lights, so you got to get candles and flashlights ready. Fridge won't work, so the food that's in there might go bad if it's for days. Yeah, all that's possible. Stores are going to be closed up because there's no power. They need computers to sell you things. And it may not even be safe to get to the store. In your home or in a shelter is the safest place to be in a snowstorm. That's the safest place to be. You might be there for a few days, so make sure you have lots of stuff to do. Lots of board games, lots of food, lots of water. Is a snowstorm an emergency? Kind of. Do you call 911 for that? Nope. We all know it's here. You could put all these food and water in a backpack. It'd be like call it a go bag. That's something you could do. You could put all your board games somewhere where you know they're at. What emergency is that one? Tornado. I don't like tornadoes. They're violent and they're scary and they're fast. There's one. You see it sucking up that house at the bottom? It's a whole house that it's sucking up. And I hope none of those things that are spinning through the air are people, but I don't know that for sure. It could be. If somebody's outside, they could be sucked up in a tornado. They're violent and they're scary. Do we have time to prepare for these? Not usually. These pop up pretty fast. When I say prepare, I mean we don't get time to go to the store to get our stuff that we need, so we have to have that stuff ready. Sometimes you usually have about an hour so that you have enough time to get in the basement. But to prepare for the emergency, you really should have your food and water ready in your shelter. And these things, like I said, they move very fast. Is this an emergency? Yes. Do we call 911 for this? No. No, everybody knows these are here too. Sometimes adults call 911 when they see a funnel cloud. I appreciate them trying to help, but we all know it's there. We don't need them buggering up 911 telling us there's a funnel cloud somewhere. We see it too. So save the calls for some people that need help, really need help, that their house just got sucked up by the tornado. We don't need 400 people calling telling us that we see a tornado. We got it. I mean, they're pretty big. So if there's one near your home, obviously we talked about it's an emergency, yes. Where should you go in the home that's safe? Somebody new. Where do you go? In the bathroom. Is there another place that's safer than that? Basement. Basement's number one. But if your house doesn't have a basement, which some don't, the bathroom is usually the next safest place. Why?
Usually that's the most reinforced place in the house.
Okay. And there's something missing from that room. Do you know what's missing from that room? Yeah.
I know where you could hide.
Why is the bathroom safe? Want me to ask? Why?
The bathtub has a ditch.
Yep, kind of that. Exactly. All three of you are right. The bathroom's a reinforced room inside the house. It's usually in the center of the house. The bathtub is more reinforcement, so you want to be in the bathtub, and it's usually is a room with no windows. Some bathrooms do have windows, so that's not where you want to be. But a room with no windows is the next safest place. All those are right. And your whole family might be in the bathtub, so it's going to be a little awkward for a minute. And a little scary. But it's nice to be with your family. That'll help you be less scared. We definitely don't want to be outside. That's a bad thing to be. But in the basement if you have one. No windows next. You could, if you have to use your basement, you could still get all these things in your basement ready to go. Food, water, extra batteries, a radio so you know when it's over. If it's your bathroom that's your safe place, put that under the sink. Put some water and food under the sink. That's a good spot to keep it. What emergency is that? Yep, fire. Is that something we call 911 for? Absolutely. You get outside in a fire. You get outside and you stay outside and you don't go back in for anything. So what do you take with you? Take your family and books. Take your what? Take your pets. Take nothing. Take nothing with you. Nothing. Your guys' age take nothing. You get out of the house. I love my pets. I love them very much. But I love my children more, way more than I love my pets. I want my children safe. Now, me as a grown-up, I might make sure my family's safe and out of the house before I get out of the house, but I'm a grown-up. For you guys, you get outside immediately and take nothing with you. Never hide either. Don't be so terrified. Don't be so afraid that you hide because you're scared of the fire. Get out, practice tonight. If you get home, practice this. Practice getting out of your bedroom window. Okay? Just practice. It's fun. And then it'd be just like school. You wouldn't be worried. You wouldn't be worried at home. Which emergency is this one? Thunderstorm. I like these as long as I'm safe in my house. I can sleep to a thunderstorm really good. I don't mind thunderstorms. You should be in your house or in any building. If you're at school, recess time, and there's a thunderstorm coming, you're going to come back into school. It's safe. Safe place to be. Thunderstorms sometimes have hail. Sometimes they're little teeny balls of hail, and sometimes they're as big as baseballs. About 15 years ago, my truck got damaged by hail as big as a baseball. In fact, it was at a parking lot, and we were all under shelter, and these big hail balls were coming down, and my truck was getting destroyed bad. They were hitting it, they were breaking the windshield, they were denting it. I couldn't do anything. It was so amazing. All I could do was laugh, and my truck is getting destroyed. But all I could do was laugh. I've never seen anything like it in my life. My insurance took care of it, thankfully, because I had like 50 dents in my truck and my windshield was shattered. And my insurance repaired my truck. But I could just laugh, but it was awesome. It really was awesome. If those baseballs are falling from the sky and you're out in it and it hits your head, that's going to hurt, isn't it? Yeah. So we want to be under shelter. But it was amazing. It really was amazing. Don't be outside because there's going to be high winds. Branches could break out of trees and hit you. That will hurt. Don't be under a tree because the lightning could strike the tree. You'll be electrocuted. That will hurt. So we've talked about a lot of emergencies that we might have at home. At school, we just prepare for them like at school. Prepare for these at home. Get ready for them. We prepared for snowstorms, tornadoes, fires, blizzards. How come we don't talk about earthquakes? We don't really have earthquakes in Michigan, do we? And if we do, they're really tiny and we sometimes don't even feel them. How about volcanoes? No volcanoes. Where are there volcanoes? Where are the kids preparing for those at? Hawaii. I think it's time to move to Hawaii and prepare for a volcano over a snowstorm. You might have no electricity, no heat, no water. Stores are going to be closed. So get the stuff ready right now. You can put it in a backpack, make a go bag out of it. There's a ton of people. If any of these things happen to you, if your house is struck by a tornado or fire, a team of policemen are coming, a team of fire department is coming, the ambulances are coming, help is coming. Okay? You be safe. You do what you know how to do. We're going to come rescue you. We're going to help you. You learned a lot today, so today you go home and talk about this with your family. If there's a fire, how do we get out of our room? Where do we meet at? Where's our meeting place? All righty. So I promised you, if we made it through the couple weeks, that we would get to see my taser video, so here it is. All right? Let me explain to you what you're looking at before we watch me scream. All right? This is the taser right on my hip. Looks just like it. These two things, they're called blast doors. They just cover this up and keep it from the weather. When I pull the trigger, those pop off. It makes a little pop sound, pop, and they blast off there. These two harpoons come out of there, and they have wires attached to them, and they can go 21 feet. Normally, we want to be about 10 feet away before we shoot. So they can go up to 21 feet. These harpoons then go into bad guys' back. We try to shoot for their chest area or their back. right in this area. They go into the skin, and then they deliver the electricity into their body. It's 50,000 volts of electricity. So those harpoons, when they go into their skin, they have little fish hook things on them, so they don't pull out. They go in there and then they don't come out. So if you make a good connection, they don't come out of there. So this is Officer Phil. He's going to be the one that shoots me back there. Officer Mike and Officer Jerry, they're holding me, so when they shoot me with the taser, I don't fall like a tree. They kind of guide me to the mat so I don't bust my face open. All right? They don't get electrocuted because both of those harpoons are going into my body and I complete the circuit. It doesn't affect them at all. You ready for this? All right, let's watch it. I didn't die. Want to watch it again? Who likes slow-mo? Here's slow-mo. Watch right here. You'll see one of the harpoons in my back. Right there. The other one's down by my butt area. You can't see it. So right after that's over, I'm good. I could have got up right then, but I was exhausted because every muscle you have in your body feels like you just had a workout. I was just exhausted. I wanted to take a nap. That's why I laid there on the mat. But it didn't affect me in any other way. I didn't pee my pants. I didn't poop. I didn't do any of that. I was just exhausted. Okay? It doesn't affect your heart or your breathing or any of that stuff. And it lasts 5 seconds, but it really felt like 15 seconds when it was happening. It feels like hammers getting hit into your back as fast as possible. It's really painful. And when they remove those hooks out of you, that tears a bunch of skin. And then you just put some ointment on there and bandages, and a couple weeks them are healed up. But a lot of pain involved with the taser. I don't recommend it at all. So thank you guys again for your attention today. I had a lot of fun with you the last few weeks.